Hello, my little glowstones. It is Glowstone here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be breaking down the Spider-Man Noir teaser trailer that was released last night for Spider-Man Noir. And this show will be a 2026 release date, which I am not sure if it's going to be the fall or anything. We don't have any other details other than what's in this trailer. And in this video, I will be breaking it down basically scene by scene and giving my opinions and what I think everything is in this trailer. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this trailer starts us off with a backdrop of what is presumed to be 1930s New York, and I believe right here they are showing Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Now, there's other theories going around and everything that maybe it's Ben Riley, but normally and conventionally, this variant of Spider-Man takes place in the 1930s. He's a bit more of a brawler. He uses guns, and he is even a boxer in most comics. And so right here, we get our first glimpse at Spider-Man getting bit by the spider. And right here, there's a bunch of different theories going on right now on who that could be. I have a couple suspicions as well because, as seen, he does have a cane. So there's ways that you could go about it where maybe it's Kingpin, but I think the more likely options, giving the origin story of Spider-Man Noir, it could either be Vulture or it could be Norman Osborn's Goblin. But the interesting thing about if it's Vulture is in this adaptation of the character, Vulture actually and very brutally eats Uncle Ben and is a cannibal. So if they're going to adapt this, it's going to be very brutal. But I think it is very much doable for the fact that it is on Amazon, which is the same streaming service that brings you The Boys. And if you know anything about The Boys, then it can get brutal. And also, we've seen brutal stuff recently on Disney Plus with the likes of Daredevil. So I think we might be pushing that envelope a little bit more than we used to not be able to. But at the end of the day, this is a Sony product, and we're not really sure the rating or anything on the show yet. But I think it's off to a great start, and I think for me personally, right now, I think Vulture and or Goblin is the most likely to who that figure is. All right, and next up here in this next closing shot, we got a glimpse as Nicolas Cage as Peter Parker or Ben Riley, depending on which one ends up being true. Again, there's no confirmation yet. This is all speculation, but more than likely, it's going to be Peter Parker. And I think he's going to do great. I think he did great as Ghost Rider for what he was given, and I do agree a little bit with some people that they hope he doesn't go as Nicolas Cage will say, as he does in some movies. But me personally, I think he'll do great. He does a bunch of really good serious movies. I just think that me personally, it's going to be even better for the fact that he is a older actor and this Spider-Man is a bit of an older character and a more serious character than your normal quip-giving Spider-Man. Now, this Spider-Man does still crack jokes and everything, but obviously not as much. And I do think that they made the right choice with this actor, honestly, because he even plays him in the Across the Spider-Verse series. And so it'll be interesting as well if maybe this has any ties to it. Maybe this is the origin story of Spider-Man from that, and then it's just live action, but it I don't fully believe that for the fact that this Spider-Man is being shown in live action, and I feel like if they were going to do that, they would have kept it animated because we've seen the likes of Andrew Garfield in the Spider-Verse movies, and he remained in live action even in an animated movie, or when we saw Mrs. Chen in the Spider-Verse movies. So that's my takes on that. On to the next scene. All right, and so as you saw in that scene, we got a brief shot of Spider-Man with his fedora and trench coat, a silhouette of him walking down the hallway, or not hallway, alleyway. And then after that, you get a beautifully shot fight scene, and it just shows the strength and speed of this Spider-Man. And I think it's going to be interesting to see this adaptation of Spider-Man where it's filmed in a Sin City esque noir universe. Like, are they going to play into the fact that it's black and white? Because as it looks, it doesn't look like it's just a black and white filter over a movie. It does look like they meticulously made this noir similar to how Logan got re-released in on Blu-ray and was brought to noir. And I'm really hoping, as previously brought up, that they are keeping the Sin City kind of energy where the film, or sorry, the series is in black and white, but then things like blood is still red. So it shows almost the importance of it, where the lack of color makes the the look of blood that much more jarring. Or in how in Deadpool 3, during the intro, whenever you see blood, the contrast is great because it's against white snow. All right, and next up here we get a very cool shot of Spider-Man tapping the side of his goggles, and the sound it makes is very similar to the Disney Plus snap. So it makes me wonder what that could be meaning, or if it's nothing at all and it's just a throwaway sound effect. But it is interesting that Spider-Man 4 is releasing, and that is a Disney and Sony project. And then this is an Amazon and Sony project. So I'm interested if that means any crossover event or just anything involving that, because I personally believe that it won't be quite a multiverse kind of show. I think they will keep it grounded and everything. But with that sound, it did sound really similar to the Disney Plus snap, and it's really interesting. And then later on in the shot, we get the reveal of the 2026 release date. And honestly, this show just has me so excited. All it took was a 31-second teaser trailer, and I'm just over the moon. I am, me personally, very excited and very much ready to see what this show has to offer. I can't wait to see more. I think that this show has a lot of potential, and I feel like if this goes well, then this could really boost Sony's imagery, because after the likes of Craven and, heaven forbid, Madam Web, which I try to give every movie credit, and I am a bit of a Marvel stan, like I'm a super diehard. I've been reading comics forever, stuff like that, and I always give every Marvel movie, any movie really, but any superhero movie, the benefit of the doubt. And I try to defend every movie I can. But there's certain ones out there that you can't defend. It's just wrong to. Because remember, great power, it's great responsibility. Somebody should have learned that in Sony. But tangent out of the way, I think it looks great. I think this is how Sony gets their trust back. I think they just needed to have that pushback and needed to hear the fan response of how uncontent we were and how they treated that villain saga. And I think this is a good stepping stone to maybe even Sony being more open to things. Because if they're willing to work with Amazon and we now have Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day right around the corner, I think that this can then lead to more collaboration where they're less strict with Spider-Man and they're a bit more lenient. And I might be dead wrong. I might be completely off with this theory, but it's just my opinion and what I think this could be leading to. And if you guys have anything that you feel like with this trailer or anything, let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.